Yeah.
whistling
Speaking
next to
of
someone's
freaking-
head.
Speaking of freaking everyone out, I'm working on two new pranks. One of them is very conceptual, and one of them is very kind of mean. I've gotten yelled at. This is maybe the prank I've done that has gotten me the most yelled at. Which one do you want to hear first? The conceptual art piece slaying decolonial, or one that is getting me screamed at by a lot of my friends?
I think I'm so excited to hear the screamed at, but I want to hear the conceptual one.
Okay. So I'm just gonna you might want to turn the volume down. I'm going to show you before I tell you what this prank is. Okay.
Prepare your ears, everyone.
So
we can't put that in the episode. We have to take that out.
How bad is it? What time
It's
is
so
it
bad.
at? It's at
It
7
really
minutes.
is so bad.
I'll see if Max can do some work on the levels there. If not, you may have just heard. Or maybe I can have Max insert like a raw file of an Aztec death whistle, which is the sound you may or may not have just heard. It is an incredibly scary sound. These are whistles that the Aztec people used to use before a battle. They would surround a warring tribe or something along a hill range, and they'd all have these whistles, and they would blow them in the middle of the night. And the sound is somewhere between. Have you ever heard this bit of lore about the Law and Order dong dong sound? Where it's like 17 overlaid sounds. Like one is like a judge's gavel, one is like a prison door slamming shut, another one is like another one is like those things at a morgue refrigerator closing. It's like a bunch of like scary sounds overlaid, like criminal sounds.
A bunch
overlaid.
of law sounds, the sounds of law and order.
Yeah. The
netted
Aztec
out.
death whistle sounds like 17 women dying layered over each other with like a bunch of animals being killed. It's a very, very scary sound. But yeah,
It's
the
very
Aztecs would
frightening.
blow this in the middle of the night to scare warring tribes. And I found that out, and I was like immediately so entranced and
It would
bought
work
one
on me.
myself.
I'll say that much.
Girl, it's so scary. It's so scary.
I really can't tell if it's because it was pointed right at the microphone, but it's like actually like hurt my ears. I was like, damn.
Yeah. No, I know.
I love the video
I know,
of
and
you
it's-
blowing it out your window in Chinatown. Scaring
So that's
the
one
tourists.
of my pranks is one of my new works is some of the
My
sixth I'm on
conceptual
the sixth
piece.
floor. My new conceptual piece. The sixth floor in an apartment, and the street below me, it's Little Italy. I don't care. People are always like, don't tell people where you live. One, I'm not giving them my address. Two, I'm not
It's a
reading my phone
dense.
number out.
It's like
a
the
la Jacques.
densest.
It's also
Yeah.
like telling somebody your street in New Orleans is like, they can find you. In Manhattan, I have friends who live on my block. I have never once seen them. Like, it's just, you don't see them on the street, I like hang out with them and stuff, but like I don't run into that many people. So whatever, I don't care. I live in Little Italy. And I was thinking how funny it would be to blow the Aztec death whistle at all of the hordes of tourists below me. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get a really good take of it because it was just bad tourist season. I was like hungover, and I'm currently in Iowa, so I can't really blow it at. If I blew it at someone in Iowa, it would be like they'd shoot me. I don't know. It'd be insane.
Yeah.
Like
And,
blowing it
you
out of my
guys-
car.
You guys can't see this at home, but every time Ben blows it, he becomes a little bit more like a skeleton. His skin becomes grayer.
Yeah.
His eyes
Yeah.
turn a little more
Bluer.
yellow. Yeah.
Scarier.
He
Bigger and
becomes
bluer.
yes, he's becoming like a zombie skeleton kind of figure.
Well, imagine you're just walking your dog or something in Iowa, and you hear this sound, and you turn around, and it's like a gay guy creeping up behind you. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't really work in this context, unfortunately. But once I'm able to get a good take of it, I'm gonna, I want to do a compilation of blowing the Aztec death whistle in places you shouldn't. But I
Top
did
10 Aztec death whistle owns.
Sorry, I'm coughing. Every time I blow it, I get a mysterious powder in my mouth.
That's so concerning.
It's full of dust or something. Ancient Aztec.
Oh my God, where'd you even
dust.
get it?
Amazon.com.
So it's probably just plastic dust. It's probably just like plastic shavings.
No. Look at him. He's also kind of hot.
I see it. So? He's kind of.
Yeah.
It looks like Rami Malek.
Yeah, if he was Aztec. But when I did blow it once out of my window in Little Italy, well, I blew it like 6 times out of my window in Little Italy, but someone literally told me to shut up. And I'm like, this is one of the scariest sounds. This isn't like someone honking. This is literally sounds like someone dying. And you're like, shut the fuck up.
Well, they panicked.
Oh, sorry.
You're dying
the powder
from it. It's killing you.
The powder is really killing me. Fuck.
You're literally dying from it.
Yeah, but I want to blow it on the plane. I want to blow it. I wanted to blow
Blowing
it
on a plane would be
so
incredible.
Funny. Yeah. So funny. Just so I want to do a TikTok. Yeah, you get away with it. I want to do a TikTok series of blowing an Aztec death whistle in places you shouldn't. Plane, golf course, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A would be amazing. Just going into a Chick-fil-A and
funeral, blowing it at a funeral. Yeah,
at someone else's funeral.
Wedding.
Drive by Aztec death whistle at a funeral.
How about your funeral? At your own funeral, you play the Aztec death whistle in the coffin.
My chosen song. No, this is I'm gonna make the person doing my obituary play my the best sound I've ever heard in my life. My favorite song, and it's just an hour of me doing the Aztec death whistle, and everyone has to sit through it.
As they're lowering your coffin into the ground, like a 21 whistle salute.
Literally. It'd be amazing.
So speaking of Adam Eli, speaking of another one of my besties, JVN, I did see her live and show this weekend. Biggest hater moment of my life probably is spending money to go see JVN live so I could watch it.
It was not cheap, right? It was like,
well, when I first looked at tickets, they were like literally in the $300 range for orchestra seats.
That's so funny.
And mezzanine was like around 150, and I was kind of like, no. Yeah, no, I'm not paying for this. And then I checked again, and tickets had gone down to like 70 because she did not sell out Radio City Music Hall, believe it or not.
No.
So I was like, $70, I'll go. I got one of my visibly queer friends to come with me.
Yeah, I was supposed to come as well, but when Ben was reminding me about it and told me how much it was, I was like,
hell no.
I had the thought, like, you know what? I'm gonna die someday.
Yeah, you're like, I'm nowhere near toxic enough to want to do something like this.
Like, I'm going to want to kill myself. I'm in the audience.
Yeah, no, I will say, generally, I was underwhelmed. I know people are going to be like, well, of course you were. It's a JVN live show. But I was expecting it to at least be more coherent. It was thoroughly incoherent. No through line. Kind of like we need a fourth mic vibe. It was very much like this show. But I went with my friend Jake. And it was like Jake was trying to get me to dress up at NB like them, and I was like, no fucking way. Jake was looking very, very, very queer, so it worked. But I mean, the main reason I wanted to go was to see, genuinely wanted to see the gymnastics, because
the beauty and majesty of
the trailer for it was just him like flying through the air.
Did he shoot himself out of a cannon at one point? Did he like jump off a high dive into like a tiny bucket of water?
He jumped through a flaming hula hoop.
Yeah, like Looney Tunes stage show
His
shit.
hips got stuck.
He put a stick of dynamite in his mouth. No, like, so I was really going for that, and especially like him being in like a pride leotard, intersectional pride flag leotard that is so tight his like little dick is being suffocated. Like it was all I wanted to see was just the gymnastics routine.
We love.
And
On
so
the off chance that a ball flies out at one point.
And then I can sue him for public indecency.
Yes.
For exposing himself to me.
Yeah.
So we went and I was like, okay, we're not paying for drinks at Radio City Music Hall. We got a flask of tequila that I put in I have this jacket from this brand called Ariat, and there's a concealed carry pocket in it. So I was like,
God.
perfect. I can put my flask of tequila in here. And we went in at Radio City Music Hall. Before we got in, we were fucking clocked. We were clocked as JVN fans. And it's because Jake was carrying a purse.
Oh my God. Wait, where?
The guy at the door at Radio City Music Hall, not clocked as queer or anything, but like clocked as people who were clearly there to see JVN because there was a they them with a purse. Like a Telfar. The guy, before we could even get across the street, it was just like, if you're here to see JVN, the line starts right behind me, folks. He was staring right at us. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to kill myself. Not being spotted as a JVN fan.
Yeah.
And so then we got in, and I was most excited to see the gymnastics routine, but then I also really wanted to see the crowd.
The crowd is
What was the crowd like? I was going to ask.
The crowd was like one of the big reasons to go, because I was like, who the fuck is paying for this? Who isn't an incredibly hateful, toxic gay man like myself? Yeah. I didn't even get that good of a look at the crowd. Like the crowd was very predictable. It was like white women who work from home and wear scarves and are like double backs, boosted, crown heights, kind of, just the queer eye demographic.
Yeah.
But before, like, I wanted to like schmooze. I wanted to get a drink and like, look around. It felt like a Hitman level, honestly. I felt like I was
Agent 47.
Hitman. I was Agent 47. Your target today is the fat gay man, Jonathan
Van Ness. Your target uses they, them pronouns, Agent 47. Feel free to use this to your advantage.
And like you're
like eavesdropping, like press Y to eavesdrop, and you're like hearing JVN be like, oh my God, where is my twink? I need a twink backstage for me after the show.
And you like you put rat poison.
Minutes ago.
You put rat poison in the twink's asshole. You poison him and die.
Yeah,
that, or you switch out his intersectional pride flag unitard with one that's like so small he can't get out of it and he suffocates to death.
Yeah, literally.
All of the weird ways he could have died.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a ripoff for like one of the big draws for me being the crowd, because he was immediately on stage. No warning, on stage.
I hate that.
We were there for 2 minutes. I'm not even kidding you. Doors opened at 7. We were there at 7. Not even any people who were there for regular reasons got a chance to get a drink or get food or even talk, meet each other, or even find their seats. He was immediately on stage within 2 minutes. There was a voice it was not an opener. It was just a disembodied voice saying, and here's JVN. And then the curtain opens and he is flying through the air.
Oh my God.
No talk about like why he loves gymnastics and what it means to him. That came later, but he was immediately doing the gymnastics routine. And I had to run. I was trying to charge my phone. I was trying to get the flask of tequila out of my concealed carry pocket so I could get drunk while watching this. Mm-hmm. And he was already flying through the air.
Oh my God.
He was already doing flips. And
iconic.
Shit. And I was like, what the? I was shocked that this is the way he started the show. He was like, let's just get this out of the way immediately.
So insane.
And so then he did all of his flips. It lasted for like 5 minutes. It was
5 minutes of just doing flips.
I'm not even
so
kidding.
funny to picture.
I'm
It's
not
like a
even kidding.
children's
It was like-
Tumblr performance, like a tumbling
Yes, no.
performance, not Tumblr.
You know what it actually was like? It was like the proverbial hippo doing ballet, the hippo ballerina.
Who's the hippo ballerina?
Hippo in a tutu. It's like it was like a bit in like Looney Tunes, and it's like there's like books about it. It's like it's like a motif in children's books and children's media.
An archetype.
Where there's like it's an archetype. A hippo in a little tutu doing ballet.
Okay.
It looked exactly like that. People have seen this. It's common.
The same reaction, Hessa. I was like, "What the fuck is this hippo in a ballet?" I'm like, "What?
Really? You two have never.
You said it. You said it yesterday to me.
I mean, it sounds familiar. I'm sure it's like there's a children's book about it. I don't know if it's a motif.
I think
necessarily.
I think it was in Dumbo as well. I'm telling you, it is. You could like hippo ballerina is a. I will not back down from this.
Okay.
It sounds like a fake workout class that happens after soul cycling in like Manhattan.
Yeah.
Hippo ballet. From
my God,
6 to
there's a statue.
7:30.
There's a statue of a hippo ballerina in the Flatiron District.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The Flatiron District.
She's slaying.
It's right across from the Lenin statue in the East Village.
So yeah, he was flying through the air. He was doing all his flips and shit. It was really cool and honestly very impressive to see him do this because I'm not even trying to be mean. He was fat as fuck. He was
Oh my God.
huge. He was huge.
No.
Look, he loves himself. He was slaying. So there's nothing.
That's
really
like the
wrong
one
with it,
reason
but
I
he-
don't hate JVN. I do. I hate
don't
him.
hate him
I
'cause he's
hate JVN 100%. But I don't hate JVN because he's fat. He's fat because I hate him.
Yeah.
Whoa,
it's
yeah,
you doing
exactly.
voodoo.
Every time
Cajun magic on
every
him.
time I
Yeah.
lose 10 pounds, he gains it.
Exactly.
Yeah, Jacques is like building like a little JVN like voodoo doll and then pouring like a full thing of gumbo like down its throat.
Yeah.
Real JVN is just getting bigger and bigger and like crying. Like I
Well,
don't know.
JVN is the shadow to Jock's Sonic. They're tethers. They're both non-binary.
Wow, someone must have seen the Sonic 2 Hedgehog
They're both
trailer.
drug addicts.
Oh my God! Shut up. That JVN looks like he can't even drink well.
No, he used to be a meth head. That was part of what the show was about. He has
Wait,
he has a
really?
lot of meth trauma.
I like him more now.
No, he's actually like I don't really have that much of an issue with JVN. I personally
We're
don't.
like slowly starting to meet and love all of our like
No, I don't feel that way at all. I'm not suddenly giving up my values.
Well, I mean, I've never, my values have never been rooted in hating JVN as an individual. Like with JVN, I think what's really interesting, like when it comes to him, is that like it's hard to think of someone who has that big of an audience and is explicitly like gay or queer or whatever. Like he I would say arguably has the biggest audience of any gay or queer person.
You saying that
like
makes me
American
sick to my
media.
stomach.
I will say I was surprised when I watched an episode of like 5 minutes of an episode of the Queer Eye Revival thing
Mhm.
because like the banter was like did not make me want to kill myself. It was like
Yeah.
very
It's very
it
sweet.
wasn't like Yas Queen, like between all of the like, you know, the Queer Eye people, the Queer Eyes, their banter was not as like grating as I thought it would be.
There are definitely moments that are incredibly grating, but it is not a constant kind of assault.
yeah.
I
Like I've had gay people that I've known
right. Worse.
who are way worse. Who
Me?
are way worse.
Me when I yas queen you every time I see you. When I yas queen you when you're in the middle of a sentence. I'm just like, work it, bitch.
You're so brave.
You're so brave. You're such
Everybody give it up to this brave girl in the room.
Everyone clap for this brave woman.
I can't wait till I meet Hessa for the first time IRL so I can embarrass her in public.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
But yeah, no, I mean, with like JVN, like because I think he has like the largest audience of like most or of any gay person, it's just interesting to see like, yeah, but I'm saying it is rare. It is rare.
He's up there.
He's up there. I know. I'm not saying he's the only one, of course. I am saying
he is one of the
main players.
Yeah,
he's one of the main players there, and it's just interesting to see like how the circumstances in which he continues to get work and continues to like maintain his audience. He's become incredibly infantile, where he is doing like this, like somersault live show. He has a show called Getting Curious where he's deferring his like specifically like infantile like queer neuroses to experts. Like, should I be afraid of bugs? Why is hair so major? Like he's the clownery that's happening is very intense with JVN, and it's just interesting to see how it continues to just flip and somersaults.
Why is hair so major is so funny. I will never get over how funny that is.
I know.
Like it's like he has like he just does everything that like we kind of wanted to do for the call-in show, Ben, but he does it like so effortlessly. Just like coming up with the stupidest fucking questions.
Why is hair so major? Is so funny. And then another one. Hair? And my favorite one is, why can't I stop eating snacks?
Literally season 2 would be like, why do scabs itch?
Literally.
Season 2 is like, why is Lacoste so good? Love the fizz.
Yeah,
baths or showers.
He's literally becoming increasingly baby-like and stupid, and it's very fun to follow that trajectory. And I wanted to see that live. So he did the somersaults, he did the flips. He then stuck a landing and grabbed his microphone and talked. Yeah, exactly. And then he talked about how hard it was for him to get into the leotard. And he talked to us about how he was wearing a special kind of underwear that forced his dick into his ass. It was incredibly graphic.
Is making eyes that look like a panicked scientist that made a...
I'm like, look. I know what those underwear are, and I will say, have I worn them before?
Yeah, whatever.
But he wasn't like, I'm tucking. He is like, I am tucking by putting my dick into my butthole. He was
okay. It seems like he's like pretending his dick is bigger than it is.
Yeah, I know.
By being like,
because you've seen me out
my
live.
God.
My dick's so big it stretches from the front side of my body all the way to my asshole.
My dick is touching my prostate right now. Oh yeah.
The only way I can do gymnastics, put my dick in my asshole.
So it was incredibly graphic, and not a lot of these like really graphic jokes he was making, but were just landing with the like work from home Crown Heights crowd, because they were a little shocked. There were kids in the room, and he was
my God.
He did an act out of him having to pull. He was like, "Oh, I have to get this thing out of my ass," and then he acted like he was a magician pulling like a really long
scarf
series of ribbons out of a hat, which was pretty funny. But the crowd was appalled. They were like, I remember looking around, and they were like,
"Queen." I love that for her.
It was actually pretty cool of him. And so then he got off stage, and this stand-up comedian named Michelle Buteau came out, and she killed. None of the jokes were particularly funny. It was very, very, very lowest common denominator, like COVID, quarantine jokes. She was up for like 30 minutes. Just the sequencing was so weird because there was an opening act, but the opening act was after the somersaults, which is arguably the highest build part of the act, because the trailer again relies so heavily on him flying through the air.
Yeah,
for it to be the first thing that lasts 2 minutes and then it's done.
I will say I do have a fear of gymnastics because when I was like 6 or 7, I was in gymnastics and this girl who's in my gymnastics class like broke her neck and was like became quadriplegic. So now I'm like horrified of like any and all gymnastic feats. So I think that I would have been traumatized if I had come. So I'm glad I didn't come, honestly.
Yeah, you would have been like wincing, closing your eyes.
I would have been screaming.
Like
I would have been like,
let me read a small excerpt of JVN Live reviewed on Reddit. This one comment says, let me see. Okay. Then finished with a weird song dance thing from Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants that didn't go off that well. It felt very unprepared.
Yeah. See, I didn't get that, but it did. The whole thing felt completely unprepared and very, very, very ad hoc. No conceptual like tether, no themes, no narrative. Which he comes back out after Michelle Buteau finished her thing. He was probably backstage pulling the intersectional pride flag leotard out of his ass for 45 minutes.
Why did he make a costume change?
He made a costume change. He came back. Yeah, he could not stay in that thing very long. I'm telling you, it was like a sausage packed too tightly. The way I would
that's a common problem in Louisiana when they package the sausage too tightly.
Yeah, you know about that. And so he came back out. He was wearing a. People oftentimes use this as a descriptor in fashion, but it truly did look like a trash bag. It was like a trash bag with a lot of ruching, like all throughout the sides, like so much ruching, bright metallic silver trash bag that ended right but underneath where his dick ended, like so
oh my gosh,
high.
We hate.
It made him look really bad. But my friend Jake often loves wearing metallic stuff, and when JVN came out, we were both like, "It's you." And Jake's like, "I would have slayed it. I would have looked so much better than that fucking faggot." And I was like, "Yeah, you would have looked better than them." But it was just funny. But the whole time, Jake and I were just like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" We were like, "This sucks. This is so bad." But
when I was gonna come, my original plan was to do mushrooms beforehand. Do you think that would have gone over well?
It would have been so bad. No, we would have killed ourselves. We literally would have killed ourselves. I was like super, super, super hungover. I like was shooting tequila with Jake. We were acting like renegade team, just like had a like brown paper bottle or a brown paper bag around a tequila flask, just like ripping shots. Lesbians told us to be quiet.
Oh my god!
This lesbian couple, they turned around at us because we were laughing, not even that loud, and she made a stink face at me, and she's like, "Shh."
Are you not supposed to be laughing?
I was like, "Bitch, this is a comedy show, ostensibly." We're laughing and having fun. I don't know. She probably heard me call him like JVN fat or something. I don't really know. And so then, like he comes back out and he does his part stand up, part monologue, part like NPR, like Moth Radio Hour storytelling shit. It was really bad. He opened talking about how he was like, "We're in New York City. This is where Marsha P. Johnson was," and talked about how we were close to Stonewall, even though we were not that close to Stonewall.
Yeah, I mean, I guess comparatively.
I guess he was in London before, so I guess he is getting
like
closer.
Where Radio City Music Hall? That's like what, like a 40-minute train ride?
No,
it's shorter than that, right?
It's like 20 minutes to Times Square from downtown.
Yeah.
But
Times Square, he was Andrew Yang's favorite train stop.
He loved that. But he was just really hammering home. Like he was just listing famous gay people at one point, like not even Stonewall adjacent.
Yeah.
And then
it's just like Harvey Milk, and everyone's
literally
cheering.
Said Harvey Milk. And the work from home white women in scarves were just like, yeah. They were like,
oh my gosh, yes, killed,
losing it,
assassinated.
They were fucking losing it when he said Marsha P. Johnson.
Oh my god!
And then he opened up. I was expecting there to be some narrative structure here, but there literally was none. It felt like he was just going for it. He talked about how he had internalized misogyny because he used to react poorly when people would mention vaginas.
Oh my God.
Which makes perfect sense that JVN was the kind of gay guy who heard the word vagina and was like,
You would be.
That's like, it's so funny to be like, my show is going to be an expose of myself. I'm going to be so critical of myself, and I'm really going to unpack my things. And the thing that you come to like do that is like, yeah, I used to think vaginas were gross.
literally. And then like, not only that, and be like, oh, that was kind of corny of me, but to be like, I used to hate women so much.
It's so fucking funny.
I used to hate women.
So funny.
And then that bit ended with him getting the entire crowd to chant pussy.
Oh my God.
Which was really weird and awkward because no one really wanted to. I mean, when I realized that he was leading a pussy chant, I was in it.
Belting it out.
Yeah, not a lot of other people went that
Tears
hard.
streaming down your face.
As a gay misogynist, thank you.
You're like holding back puke the whole time.
Then he no segue, nothing, went right into about how he once was in a meth spiral and hallucinated Mitt Romney being in the basement of a bathhouse in St. Louis.
Whoa.
Yeah, which I'm like, okay, the trauma.
Who's Matt Romney?
There. Mitt Romney, who ran for president against Barack Obama in 2012. He's a Mormon. And he was like, I was like, is that Mitt Romney? No, Mitt Romney doesn't have a nipple piercing and sniffing poppers, or does he? And everyone, I was just like, oh God, like,
Jesus.
No, it was heinous. It was heinous.
Jacques, it's kind of crazy you don't know who Mitt Romney is. He's from like right around your neck of the woods, I think. Like, what state is
Utah. He's Mormon.
Yeah, Utah.
Yeah, you know what they say? I have 0 brain cells and I virtually know nothing.
What they say.
You know what they say? I know nothing and nothing.
He ran for president in 2012.
You act like that's something that I was very. I'll reference again.
Yeah, I guess that was a blackout year for you.
Well, no, I mean literally also, but then also like I literally was spray pitting Obama. Or no, Osama bin Laden for president 2014. Like that was a graffiti tag I did. So like, why would I of course I didn't know who was actually running.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, JVN had a very similar, kind of reference point in that he hallucinated him being in the basement of a bathhouse. So you two are each other's tether.
No.
Okay, maybe not.
Anyone out there making comparisons between me and JVN needs to quickly stop. And
Brown hair, non-binary,
jump off a bridge.
Wears dresses.
No,
You're in entertainment.
I'm bald. I'm a DJ.
I'm sure he's DJ'd.
No, don't. And then,
okay, sorry, Jock. Okay, the next story he told was about how much he loves roller skating.
okay, stop.
And doing jazz.
I'm not even playing right now. I'm pissed. Shut the fuck up.
Actually said
He did not say that.
Yes, he did.
I'm really tired of your pale face and your tiny scrunched up hoodie. You look through me with your Rachel Maddow eyes with such judgment and such promiscuity.
I don't judge you, Jock. I'm just telling you that JVN did a bit about how much he loves roller skating.
So you should not
dabs, but he did.
I will
Don't do
say,
GHB.
I do think I would never compare you to JVN,
Thank you
Jock.
so much.
I think you're so much cooler and more beautiful and more special.
Everybody
agree.
give it
I
up for
completely
Madame
agree.
Penis. Claire. Lady Penis.
No, I do think you're of course far and beyond better than you're Sonic. He's Shadow.
I don't
He's
even
the
like
bad
that
one,
comparison because you know that's not my.
Why?
It's so funny that that's a reference point that
I
Ben
know,
knows.
I know.
It's like
I know it's really
funny.
random.
Ben knows who Shadow the Hedgehog is.
Ben, did you see?
It's like one of the game characters I know.
Ben, did you see?
Okay, how about this, Jock? How about this? You are Mario. He's Waluigi.
No.
Or Wario.
No.
He's Wario.
No.
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 Okay,
He doesn't
no.
even deserve that of respect.
Okay, sorry.
Like, are you kidding me? And also,
never compare him to Wario.
Ben must have seen the Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie trailer.
I played it at my dentist office when I was a child, and dentistry was traumatic.
Dentistry was traumatic.
Going to the dentist was traumatic for me as a child. So
they had to put me on so many different anti-anxiety medicines for going to the dentist because I would have literal freakouts and start scream. One time I started hallucinating from the laughing gas, so they had to start putting me on anti-anxiety medicine for it, and I flipped out so bad that I ran out in the middle of the thing, and I was like, I don't know what my name is, and I walked home.
How old were you?
12, 13.
That's iconic.
JVN then talked about gardening for 30 minutes. And I'm not even kidding. It was a full 30 minutes where he talked about how he raised pumpkins with his British husband.
He would have a British husband.
He has a British ginger husband.
Oh my God. Donald Gleason?
No.
Yeah, it's Donald Glover.
I think he might be Irish.
He's married to Donald Glover.
Yeah, that's
Childish Gambino.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then he had a really belabored act out where he pretended he was again shoving stuff in his ass. He talked about how these pumpkins are his babies, and it's almost as if he shoved them up his ass and then shit them out and gave birth to them. And then 5 minutes after that, I saw a child walking out of the theater with his parents because they were clearly like, this show is not meant for children. Then he gave a review of the TV show Alone. Then he implored everyone to do something for the midterms, and then the show was over. It was really
together a pretty formative moment in our friendship when we had it was so like stupid. I forget how it happened.
Every part of it worked.
Okay, so it was all built around frozen cream pie to the face.
That's the
Benny
finisher
Hill style.
Uh-huh.
And we set it up.
But the idea was, okay, how
We
can
set it
you
up
set
with-
up a cartoon level, like 4-tiered prank where everything keeps happening in
Rube
succession?
Goldberg prank.
A Rube Goldberg, like catching the
Wait,
Scooby-Doo
who was the poor
villain.
victim of this prank?
We cannot say.
She will not be named.
Will you tell me after?
Yes.
Okay.
It's more for
That-
their
that's-
privacy.
That's the lawsuit.
Yeah, that's the lawsuit. So they did die.
The pie was too frozen.
Allegedly, they are currently dead.
The pie was too frozen. It slammed their nose and drove it into their brain. They died.
So, okay.
Oh
so
my God, it was actually concrete, not whipped cream. Jake.
Sorry.
So 4-tier prank. It starts with plastic wrap on the toilet seat, tight between the bowl and the
Classic.
seat, so that when you sit down in the dark, at really low lighting, so that when you sit down in the dark, you start to pee, and you're peeing onto a layer of plastic wrap.
Classic prank.
The second,
I was really hoping that she would poop.
yeah, Ben was
To be
really
honest
hoping
with
that
you.
she would poop.
I remember being like, "Are you hungry? Do you want some food?
Do you want dessert?
Welcome.
Do you want a
have
little
some
coffee?
food."
Should we have a little coffee right now?
Yeah, you want some coffee?
Do you want a bump of Coke?
Do you want any laxatives? Do you want it? We're skinny mode.
We're eating burgers and doing coke.
So then,
Having coffee.
Join us? Drinking coffee.
Vodka Red Bull.
we had a Bluetooth speaker in the bathtub, hidden out of
No,
sight.
it was underneath the toilet.
Yes, you're right. It was underneath
So
the toilet.
the noise
hidden.
would come right behind you while you're
So
preferably shitting.
the second that we heard that she was using the toilet and the first prank was starting to work, we hit play on the Benny Hill song as loud as it could go.
I encourage Jake to make an edit. We've got to find this edit
Yes,
if we can.
we
Where I
did.
was like, Jake, you need to do like a 5-second horror movie scream that fades into the Benny Hill song.
Yes, it was
And
it was
like-
a woman's scream that then
So
waits like 3
yeah,
beats,
like
and
death
then
whale.
so just enough time to
Ideally,
make
at this
you jump
point,
up.
you literally can't get the poop out of your body because there's a layer of saran wrap.
So naturally, you like throw your pants on and try to run out the room, and then right on the outside of the door frame,
naturally you throw your pants. So naturally, as anyone would do in this situation,
you run out the room. But right outside the door frame, we had done the thing where you put the wall
soapy
of
water on the floor.
Well, the wall of invisible tape.
In
the doorway.
So
you run into like 10 pieces of tape and you get wrapped up, and then right past the bathroom with soapy water on the floor.
It's so funny to imagine all of this is literally this is a New York City bathroom. This is
like
all
within
this
8
obstacle
feet.
course is all condensed into like 3 feet.
And so then right as she hit the tape and started to slip, I pop out from the kitchen and hit her in the face with the pie.
And the cream pie, and Jake insisted we put it in the freezer, and I was like, I don't think it needs to be in the freezer. So it was frozen at Jake's insistence. I was like, I really feel like the part of it is that it's supposed to kind of explode, not just
And so she fell
you
to
in
the
the face.
She fell to the floor into the soapy water that she had slipped on.
that was such a good one. That one was just that one
the
was
best prank ever.
it's like so much worse than like frat hazing ritual.
Yeah.
Like where guys die. I would rather have to drink. I'd rather have to do a keg stand for 45 minutes than have that happen to me.
That was the best April Fool's Day ever.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That was an amazing one. That was a really good one.
I can't wait to hear who it was.
Oh, you're gonna yeah. We'll be telling you. Yeah, no good pranks as of late. I mean, we did the whole April Fool's coverage, so we don't really need to get back into pranks.
Well,
but
I have a not really a prank, but
what?
on the
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You were pretty lonely.
But I started saying it ironically, and it made me gayer. It's what happens.
I know. It ruined my life, truly. Being on this podcast. I say it all the time now.
Oh, I thought you were. I mean, no offense. I really legit thought you were talking about being a woman.
Why?
Well, yeah,
Did you
that
assume
too.
that? Oh.
Well, that too.
I don't know. Just she's always going on
I'm
about being a fucking
detransitioning.
woman.
I'm detransitioning.
Hassie, you should do transition so we can get some.
Please
pictures
do
of
not
those
do
on
Right-wing,
transition.
Get some PragerU cash.
Please do not.
Yeah,
do-
get some PragerU
Ben
money. Put
Shapiro.
everything behind the paywall. I'll become incredibly conservative. I'll unleash
I don't
my
care what you
fascist
do.
spirit.
I don't care
have
what
to
you do.
detransition. Jock, you've just got to
You
start
gotta
doing
say
crack.
the same.
I'm not
You
doing
gotta
anything.
say
a lot more.
doing crack.
We're not doing anything.
And that's how we finally start making millions of dollars in our kind of truly psychotic,
Honestly,
schizophrenic,
Hessa,
right wing
Crackhead
spin-off.
podcast.
please,
Crackhead
Hessa,
podcast, yeah.
Hessa, please don't detransition because it's gonna be too hard. I already have enough trouble saying your regular name, and if I have to go back,
Regular
name. If I have to
I
go
think I
back,
would probably keep my name the same if I
Yeah,
detransitioned.
It's fine.
that doesn't work
Yeah.
like that. You can't do that.
I can't. Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
Well, guys, I want to tell you about something. I'm
Do you?
going to. Yes, I do, Jock. Thank you. I'm going to DC this weekend for the Palestine rally with like a bunch of friends, like 20 people. And usually I would get a hotel. Everyone hates Airbnb. It's getting worse and worse. And the hosts of Airbnbs are getting truly psychotic, becoming like actually hostile fucking freaks. And I've never been to DC before, but I was kind of preparing myself for like the demonic pencil pusher, bureaucratic energy of it all. And this is kind of my first taste of it. I want to read a part of this Airbnb listing to you guys just to see what you guys think. Because I have
ready.
oppositional defiance disorder. I'll just be completely and totally honest about that.
What
It's
is oppositional defiance
it's a
disorder?
childhood personality disorder. It's literally
Feel like a baby. You're like a child.
It's something bad, kids. It's very much you can't tell me what to do. Disorder,
You're not my
which
mom.
you're not my mom.
Yeah.
Or fuck you, mom. I'm not listening to you,
Yeah.
mom.
Telling your
that
mom you're not my
has-
dad. Stuff like that.
You're not my dad. You're my mom. That has fully metastasized inside of my brain and carried into adulthood. and I do get flare-ups fairly often, so I'm sure you guys know. But this one threw me for
I only knew of one
a
kind.
whirl, and you'll see why. So it starts like this. We have 2 security cameras on the exterior of the house for the safety of our guests and property. One is located on the front door, and the other is located in the backyard. Removing security cameras will result in cancellation and will not result in a refund. Fair enough.
Fair.
So what if
Security
someone else
cameras.
removes it though?
If like a stranger, well, they
Yeah,
can check the
I-
cameras.
See,
I assume.
Jock's got oppositional defense disorder as well.
Yes.
This
Yeah, I
Something
want to fly. I want to fly to
podcast.
DC and ruin the Airbnb. That'd be
Because
so
if
funny.
a random masked man runs up from the street, and grabs one, and runs away.
Yeah. And just
It'd be a
spray-
really good
just
prank.
spray paints over the lens with black.
It'd be
Spray paint.
such a good prank
really
on you
quick.
and your friends.
Yeah, you have to pay for the Airbnb.
Oh. Well, if it's not us, I mean, they'd have the footage of someone who's not in the house.
How would they know it's not your group?
Because they have footage of
Because-
us entering and leaving the residence, and no way am I letting you into that bitch.
Well, good thing Lucy already gave me the address.
It's not Lucy.
Oh.
None of these friends know who you are. It's my friends who are lawyers. So,
Ew.
anyways, it
You don't
continues
have
like
friends.
whatever. I don't know why. See, this is the ODD acting out. I can't say anything without Jock being negative. It's
Jock is
truly
defying you.
I
Jock
just
Jock
upset
has-
everyone because my microphone is having issues again today.
no one was upset about
Yeah.
it. You upset yourself.
I'm
And
upset.
we had to
I am
walk
the
you-
person who is upset. The
Yeah,
upset
you are the
person, me.
problem.
Me,
Jock
Jock.
is
upset
Jock
about the
upset.
microphone.
Jock is anger.
You
Anger,
are the
Jock.
problem.
Jock, fire, hot, lava, volcano.
Jock, fire?
Speaking of-
Fire Jock?
Jock fire.
Jock fire. Fire Jock. Okay. You're fired.
So
He
bad.
just burnt himself. He just ashed his joint out on his fucking shirt. All right, let me keep going here without any ODD flare-ups of you, Jock, please. The listing is equipped with a quote-unquote minute home sensor. And minute is spelled without the E, so it's one of these heinous startups that drops files. Minute will monitor the noise as well as the motion, humidity, and temperature levels to ensure that you are safe, secure, and comfortable during your stay.
These bitches turned their house into the room that the knock list is stored in Mission Impossible 1.
Can you not tell how angry I'm getting just reading this?
Yeah.
The thing I detest about this the most is like, oh, it's for your safety. It's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Your motion, humidity, and temperature levels?
That's so
What if-
crazy.
So, like, honestly, like when you say humidity, I'm like, what do you expect the guest to do to like turn the
if they
shower?
if you jerk off too much,
No, I'm like, no, I mean, like,
Jerking off right next to this monitor.
like what does she expect a guest to do, to like come into the Airbnb and turn on the shower on the hottest setting, open the bathroom door, and let
Yeah.
the steam escalate throughout the house?
I think I'm sure like that the idea is if you have a big rager, they could detect.
This is why
The
it is. I mean,
humidity.
it's like 20 of us staying at this Airbnb. It's a huge Airbnb, and it's clearly them trying to make sure that no one is having a party. But my thing here is 20 people in a house is basically a party. Like,
It's going to be
we're not
loud.
we're not throwing a rager at all. We're hanging out there after protesting or whatever, but it's not like, it's just so annoying that they go to this extent. It makes me so fucking mad. I'll keep going here. For example, Minute will let us know if the temperature in the listing is too high or low, which could indicate an issue with the AC unit or heating. It's clearly because they want to tell how many bodies are in the room.
Yeah. It's literally Mission Impossible. You like, they expect all 20 people to rappel into the house and be dangling like Tom Cruise.
Wait.
the whole
Also,
time.
is there like a limit
Yeah.
of people that you
Yes.
are allowed to bring?
Yeah, like with every Airbnb, there's a limit. It's literally like 18 or 20 people. There's like a bunch. It's like what?
So this is like a huge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll keep going. This will help us to ensure that the temperature in the listing is at a comfortable level. Yeah, right. Minute will. That's what a thermostat does, bitch.
Yeah.
I can set the temperature myself. Like,
Yeah.
what? It's such
getting
a lie.
test like, hey, you should put like an ice cube next to it and be like, hey, we just got
Is that
part of the plan?
I've got a plan.
Is that part of the plan?
These people don't know what kind of person they're dealing with. To be completely honest, they do not know what kind of person they're dealing with and to what lengths I will go to have a nice time with my friends. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the part that threw me over the edge and really triggered my ODD.
And by the way, I don't fuck with Airbnb at all. Anyway,
They're
this
evil.
Is one of the biggest reasons. This is one of the biggest reasons I've always stayed away.
Booking a hotel for a group of 20 people is like insane. So we had to do everything.
Yeah.
But this is the part that threw me over. I completely agree with you, Jock. Airbnb needs to be destroyed. Minute will also notify us if the noise level is above 75 decibels during the daytime and 70 decibels during the night. This will help us to make sure that there is no noise disturbance to our neighbors and community. 70 decibels is the sound of a washer running.
That's really
75 decibels is like a microwave beep.
that's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
A microwave beep.
Please no. Like 75 decibels is fucking crazy. This will help
dishwasher or shower.
Yes.
60 decibels conversation.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. No, not with me in the room.
Yeah.
This will help us to make sure that there is no noise disturbance to our neighbors or community. Please note that this system is not a recording device and it does not record anything. It is an active noise monitoring system, not a recording device. If a guest tries to tamper with the device, there will be an automatic cancellation immediately and a $2,000 penalty fee. This guest should not try to touch or disconnect the device at any time. The device is located in the living room. When you make a reservation with us, you are agreeing to all of the above house rules. Thanks a lot for your collaboration. Okay,
Collaboration.
I'm sorry.
Fucking people. Jigsaw. This is like a jigsaw.
You have to check for a backup device because I bet you anything they have one. I bet you
Also,
anything they have two of these.
They're going to have cameras inside the house. That's for sure. They are not listing those because it's illegal, but they 1000% are going to have cameras in this house. I don't care because anything that they are they cannot use any of the footage they're taking for cameras they did not know, they did not inform us about to dispute any claims they made with Airbnb. So
yeah,
whatever. But
this is tricky. I feel worried for you already.
Oh, I'm going to tell you what I did.
Okay.
I know what you did, and I still feel like you're fucked.
Oh yeah. Mr. MacGyver over here.
Ben fancies him as the cleverest lad of them all. And
look, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself for the anti-surveillance devices I have created. Okay.
I need to hear this plan.
I looked up Minute. Okay. And these things like the size of hockey pucks. Some of them are wall mounted. Some of them are mounted in the ceiling. Some of them are freestanding devices just left out on a mantle or like a countertop. I feel like they're kind of implying that it's a freestanding device because they're really worried about tampering with the device. Oh, also, mind you, if we go over 70 decibels at night, this is in a different part of the rules. If we go over 70 decibels at night, it results in a $1,000 fee.
Wow, that's insane.
And nighttime starts at 10.
That's
which
really
is insane.
Crazy.
This is literally like
opening and closing the front door at 10 would probably set it off.
This is like Saw for me. This is a jigsaw trap to a loud gay guy who loves to party. You're telling him if you go over 70 decibels past 10, you're going to have to pay me $1,000. No, I won't do it.
No, it does that effect where you're like moving really fast, squirming around. It's just the decibel meter going up, like way up.
You can't say slay. You can't have a good time with your curlies. No, please, God, why me? Please, Jigsaw. Let me slay. Let me slay, please.
Honestly, the owner of this Airbnb sounds like the man.
Themselves.
Well, that too, but they sound like the man in the high castle. This is like, this is so fucked up. Like, I would never, ever.
You in this Airbnb. Good
I would
Lord.
never, I would never in my life book Airbnb solely based on the fact that I've never stayed in one. And I would never stay in one because of the fact that they can cancel on you for whatever reason and not give you a refund and charge you a penalty. My ex-boyfriend's mom.
I don't know.
My ex-boyfriend's mom had $2,300 of 2 weeks worth of staying in Italy booked at an Airbnb. They canceled last minute 3 days before and no refund.
They didn't refund her?
No.
Damn, that sucks.
That's crazy.
But okay, so
Airbnb doesn't have to.
I built my own contraption,
Device.
kind of jigsaw style.
I have a question for you, Ben, right away. Well, I'll save it for after because I might have a wrench. I might have a wrench in the plan. What if it's mounted on the ceiling?
Oh, bitch, please. You think I didn't think of that?
Okay.
You think I didn't? I told you I was having an ODD flare up. You think I didn't spend the past 2 days working out every conceivable outcome and making sure I was going to be able to talk with my girlies and party with my girlies? So what I did is my first contraption, my first anti-decibel monitor device. Went to Home Depot, bought a 5-gallon bucket, one of those cement buckets, put a 4x4 cardboard tube in the middle of it because the Minute devices, I looked at the dimensions, they're 3.5 by 3.5, 4-inch tube in the middle of the Home Depot bucket. Insulating spray foam around the tube up to the top of the bucket, and then a little bit inside of the tube itself.
Okay.
Let that dry.
Okay.
Went back today, cut up a bunch of saran wrap, put it around the dried insulating foam, which was like a foot, like a half a foot still from reaching the brim of the bucket. And I filled that with more insulating foam. So now I have an interlocking, 2 pieces of interlocking insulating foam that are in the shape of a bucket with a giant hole in the middle.
Yes.
Right? That makes sense to you?
Yes. Yeah. You made a mold and then you filled it. You made a foam cast inside.
And then I used another cardboard tube, the 4x4 cardboard tube, and I filled just 1/2 of it so I can slide it
on top.
So there's a tiny little chamber in the middle of this tube surrounded on all ends by 6 inches of insulating foam. And once I put their little pathetic, stupid device in that chamber, it's not going to hear shit besides the sound of itself beeping in total silence while I have an amazing time with my friends screaming. It's not going to hear anything.
Well, here's my question then. What if that causes the heat in the device in the chamber to warm up?
Put an ice cube in there.
Putting an ice cube in there.
Putting an ice cube in there.
Solution.
It's not a glass of white wine.
But that would affect the humidity to add an ice cube.
Hey, so what? If it's humid, they're gonna be like, crank the heat down or something. I don't know. They're not gonna charge us $1,000 for going over 70 decibels, which again is the sound of a washing machine. The other thing I did, in case it is wall mounted or mounted in the ceiling, of course you can't put a bucket on there. Insulating foam doesn't weigh much. Got a big bowl, filled it full of insulating foam, and then I put a much smaller bowl in the middle of it with a saran wrap lining. Dome.
Yeah, you made a dome.
The decibel dome. And there's a little kind of indent in the middle. Insulating styrofoam weighs less than a pound.
Yeah.
Say it's not on the ceiling. That dome, right over it. Not on the wall. Yes. That dome, tape that shit to the wall. And then there's just this big half circle insulating it.
I can't wait to see if this works. I'm very curious, honestly.
It's so psychotic, but I was like, no, because all my friends were like, well, we'll just have to whisper. I'm like, we're not fucking whispering.
Yeah.
We're not going to be, we're not
You
going to,
telling
we're
your
not,
friends, no.
we're paying like 92 a person to stay here. I'm sorry, but we're going to party. Like, we're going to have a nice time.
Yeah.
And they're all lawyers. They're all like employment lawyers. And they were like researching if it's legal to do decibel monitoring. And I'm like, it doesn't matter, guys. I'm building a device.
You don't get it. I have a contraption.
I have a contraption.
I'm having a contraction hearing this.
I'm so excited to whip that bitch out at the Airbnb.
I can't wait to see if it works. I'm curious.
I think it'll work. And
I think it
all in
probably
all-
will work also. I think it
All
probably
in
will
all,
work.
spent $15.
And I think because I
Oh,
think
no.
devices like that are meant more for like a panopticon effect of just
They're
making you
deterrents.
feel more monitored than
Yeah,
you
they're
really
deterrents.
are.
3 things.
Three
First
things.
of all-
all right.
Okay.
What if like a group of like really, really fat people are staying there and
None
they,
of them are fat.
They're stomping
No,
around.
but just no. Well, that.
There's hypotheticals
Other people.
for other
Yeah,
groups. Yeah.
Well, no, the humidity would definitely go up if it was like
There's a bunch of fat
20,
people.
20
fat
really
people.
fatty, 20
fat
fatties.
people. Yeah.
You're gonna hear the sound of their stomach growling. It's over 70 decibels.
Okay. Second thing.
Yeah.
Why would you even play Jigsaw's game? Why would you stay at this Airbnb willingly?
So I mean,
Why
we have
was-
20 people. It's hard to manage 20 people. It's hard to book for 20 people.
Part of the thrill
booked,
also.
someone booked this one, and
That's
it's
a
fine.
boring reason.
And it's part of the fun is
The fun.
having to
the
put
fun.
up with the psychopaths' rules and beat them at their own game.
That's the
'cause you know
coolest. The
how
people who win
Insulating
against
spray foam
Jigsaw.
works.
The people who win against Jigsaw are the craziest and the wackiest, and
Me.
they usually go. They usually go insane.
Third question. Is your name on this at all?
No, a friend of mine booked it.
So it really, decibel or not, you're not getting
I'm
charged.
not gonna fuck over my friend. What a heinous way to think.
But Jock,
We're
you're the
all-
friend. That's what you don't realize.
Jock's-
You're
Jock's
the friend whose
it's
name is
under
on
Jock
it.
Consulate.
Okay, wait. Do you want to do a role play of Kendall and Bad Bunny talking to each other?
Okay. Do you want to be?
I'll-
You'll be
I'll
Kendall.
be Kendall. Yeah.
Well, they were at a basketball game recently.
Okay, ready?
Did you see the pictures of them at the basketball game?
Yeah, you sent it to me.
Okay, let's try. It's gonna be really racist for me. I gotta.
No, it's gonna be
Have you heard him?
fine.
Have you heard him? The thing is, he can't speak English.
So don't
This
speak
is
English.
this is but no, but this is why I'm like they don't talk. Like Timothy and Kylie, that's weird just because they're like so culturally different. But I'm like, Bad Bunny and Kendall Jenner dating. First of all, Kendall is a lesbian.
Yeah, you think so?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
It's been rumored for years, and she just seems like a lesbian.
I feel like she would just come out if she was a lesbian.
You can't.
What?
That's how you get executed.
What?
That's how you get executed.
Oh, okay, never mind. I forgot. Sorry.
Okay,
ready?
No, she's a lesbian. Yeah, okay,
We're
let's
at the
go.
basketball game.
Que lo que, baby. Que lo que, Kendall. ¿Cómo
What?
estás todo? Hola, mi baby.
What does that mean?
Baby, you know, like, I love basketball. Okay. Basketball is, the game is so fun, you know, like. I
Yeah,
love
I agree.
when they are
No, I also
when
love-
they
I
are
love
only
fun.
going to in their hoop.
What?
You gotta get the ball into their hoop. And
Oh, yeah.
depende de la distancia, el piso, man. Okay.
Huh?
When you is throwing the ball, and it's from very far, you are getting a more point. Okay, you get more point. And it's why I'm a lowing basketball. Okay. Kendall, baby. Could
Wow,
you order
that's-
could you order me un popcorn?
You want me to order you?
Could you order me un popcorn, please?
Yeah,
Please, ya need un popcorn. Pero la hombre en la-
Johnny and the pork.
¿Cómo, baby? Tú sabes. Yo quiero
Hang
un
on, I have to-
popcorn, mami.
My mom's calling me. I have to go.
No, Chris. No more.
You're grabbing my arm really hard.
No,
You're grabbing my
Chris.
arm really hard.
Chris, mira. Dime tu teléfono, Chris. Escúchame, Chris. Chris, mami. You and no more
Hello,
talking.
it's me, Chris.
You know
It's
what
me,
talking.
Chris, on the
You know
phone.
what talking to Kendall. No más. Okay, mami. Escúchame.
Listen to me.
Venito con
You
mi
work for me.
novia. No. You are working for me. Mami. Mira, mami.
Okay. No one's ever really talked to me. It's kind of turning me on. No one's really talked to me like that. Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah.
Mira. Could you please order me un Paco?
It's un Paco.
Chris.
Why does Bad Bunny want so bad? What is he talking about?
Popcorn. Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Sí, Chris. Yo quiero un popcorn. Could you order me un popcorn? Please. Mommy, please.
Okay, Mr.
Chris.
Bunny.
Con. Popcorn. Me gusta popcorn mucho.
Kendall is sitting there like,
Quiero, baby. No más amigos en la casa esta noche. Solo
no more friends at your house at night?
amigas. No más mujeres. Solo mí y tú. A su casa. No more women. No more females.
Okay. No more women at my house at night?
No. No me
okay,
and
okay.
you, baby.
Well, they're just my
baby.
friends, they're just my friends.
No, mentirosa, a mí. Don't lie. I know you're lying to me. I'm a hearing you todas las noches.
You're hearing Jew?
Con sus amigas. En la cama.
Popcorn, get your
Toda
popcorn
la
here.
noche. Oh, baby, mi popcorn is here. Give me the popcorn. Mi baby. Please, mi baby. Yeah. Mi baby. Give me the popcorn candle, please, baby.
Excuse me, sir, can we have
Un popcorn.
one order of popcorn, please?
Un popcorn, please. Con extra butter, please.
Wow, sure. Hey, say, are you Bad Bunny?
Yeah, I'm Bad Bunny. Why did you not give me a popcorn earlier when I asking you for a popcorn?
Oh,
You
I'm
said,
sorry. I
oh,
couldn't
okay, what is it?
understand,
¿Qué es popcorn? Popcorn, papi. Yo quiero un popcorn. And you look at me like you don't know what I'm saying. But I'm saying I want a popcorn. Okay.
Okay.
Why'd you
I
laugh?
understand. Well, here,
Okay.
look, sir. This one's on
Give
the
me
house.
the
How's that?
popcorn now.
Okay, here you go.
Gracias, papi. Gracias, papi.
Oh, this is
Mira.
$500. You're just giving me. I told you it's on the house.
Sí. Sí, no me importa. Yo tengo dinero. Ya no, baby.
Yes.
Mira, I got my popcorn. And Judy, nothing will even help me. You know, I'm sick of being with you because you do nothing to help me. Okay? And scene.
And see.
I cannot continue to be racist. That was. I'm so sorry
That
if any
was
Puerto
so
Ricans
good.
listen to this
I can't believe
podcast.
you've never done a character.
My
such
my
as-
bad Bunny impression before.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. Very sorry to any
Oh
Puerto
my
Ricans
God.
out there.
I'm
I love Bad
crying.
Bunny. I'm a huge Bad Bunny stan. And you can tell they do not talk to each other. They literally
Yeah.
don't know how to talk to each other at all.
I mean, that's like what it would be like.
For
for his job. No, put the maniac back in the cage. Anyways, for April Fool's Day, which was recently, did you guys
I avoided you like the
celebrate?
plague because I knew that thank God a relative of mine didn't die on that day, and I got like a text because I would have been like, fuck you, Ben.
Nice try, Ben.
Yeah.
I blocked as a result of Ben's text messages, which he'll explain. I blocked him for over
Jock,
24
I
hours. I
pranked-
was so pissed.
I pranked Jock, and it was literally not even. It was the laziest prank I've ever done on a person.
It was
Because,
evil.
Jock,
It had
you are
me on edge.
you're a very hard person to prank because the retribution is swift and drastic, and you take it very seriously. So I don't even try to prank you. Anyways, the real pranks I did on April Fools, I got 2 people so good. It felt amazing. I had a friend who I was supposed to go to Miami with for her birthday, and I couldn't go because I have mono. It's still kicking my ass. I really regret kissing that 13-year-old girl.
Did you get mono too?
Those
Hessa?
pigtails.
No, I didn't get mono.
Thank God.
I believe it's just me.
Freak.
But I missed
Leper.
out on a flight to Miami, and I know that she was flying back on the 1st, which coincidentally is also her birthday. So I looked at her location, and I saw that she was in the airport. And I knew she was flying Spirit because we were all talking about buying tickets together. So I look up Spirit flights departing from Miami on that day. I get the flight number. I get the terminal that she's currently in. And I know she's flying Spirit. So I get on my little Google Voice app.
Oh my God.
And I text
No.
her. And I text her from a number that she doesn't have saved in her phone. In all caps, Spirit passenger alert.
So mean.
It's Spirit passenger alert. All flights leaving Terminal C. Oh no, it wasn't all flights. It was flight NW74 headed towards Newark in Terminal C is going to be late 6+ hours due to a storm front advancing over the West Atlantic. All of that's bullshit. And then I was just like, talk to a Spirit Airlines customer service representative at the counter or rebook tickets here. And then I put a link in and I sent that to her. And then I realized after sending it, I was like, oh, fuck, like, this isn't a prank where I'm going to hear back from. You're not going to text the Spirit number back. Like, I'm not going to know if she's freaking out. So I kind of fucked myself with that
This is
one.
a mean
And then she
prank.
was with another mutual friend of ours. So I texted my mutual friend. I'm like, how's it going? She's like, our flight's been delayed. And I was like, oh no.
What if they left the airport?
I know. And so I immediately texted her back. And she thought that the flight was canceled for probably like a minute tops. But I texted her back and I was like, it's Bend. But my Google Voice phone number doesn't do autocorrect, or it does in like a weird way. Anyway, the text I sent her said, it's Bean, Been. And she was like, who is Bean?
It's Ben. It's Ben.
Oh, sorry,
1
it's
week.
Ben. It's Ben. But she was like, oh my God, I can't believe I even thought that was real. She was like, you misspelled Spirit Airlines. It was Sprint. Sprint Airlines customer.
Sprite Airlines.
Prank.
Yes,
I don't. I would
And
have
she was like, I thought it was real because there's a link in it. And I was like, bitches will believe a text if there's a link in it. It's crazy. And the link was just to spirit.com.
so
Rebook
evil.
tickets here.
Because that's what they do at the end of their text messages.
I know. I know, but I got her. And the thing
I
is,
don't like you as a trickster.
I can prank. I'd prank people really bad, but you only let it go on for like a minute, you know, and then it's
Yeah.
fine.
What about the dog
like-
one?
The dog one was worse.
the dog one. You killed a
is
dog.
way worse. No, I didn't kill a dog.
Why did you kill a dog?
Dogs
That's so
oftentimes
fucked
have
up.
tried to kill me when I'm in a golf cart. That does happen a lot.
In
but
my
I-
defense, for what I'm about to tell you, dogs have tried to kill me in the past. They attack
Many
me everywhere I go.
But is my friend who, look, she's got a dog who I love. I love this dog. Her name is Bella. I used to live with her. This dog
has had a history of getting kicked out of several doggy daycares for being a little bit too aggressive to other dogs. And I did a lot of research on this prank. I texted
This
her
was
brother.
crazy. You found
This
the
one was
name of a guy who
crazy.
actually worked at the dog
I did
daycare.
research on this one. I texted her brother and I was like, what's the name of the doggy daycare that Bella goes to? And he was like, it's funny. He sent me a screenshot of their location on like Google Maps. So I'm like getting like, it's called Brooklyn Pawfus. And I was like, okay, perfect. And so then I went to their Instagram and scrolled until I could find a picture with a man in it because they're mostly dogs. Unfortunately, they don't dox their employees for people to impersonate.
Hello, this is Rover texting you about your dog.
So I found this guy named, let's call him
I
Jeremy.
hate you. I'm sorry. Wait, I just have to pause for a minute. These pranks are so
have to
mean spirited.
You have to
Pause. Pause up. Ruff, ruff.
woof. This prank is this bark is meaner than its bite.
So
Oh,
I
woof.
did, I got the guy's name. So I texted the dog owner, hey, this is Jeremy at the office. Wait, let me get the exact text.
Yeah,
up
the
because
exact
it was
text is so funny.
so good. It was so look, I will say we are completely fine. She loved the prank. She thought it was funny. Hey, blank, it's Jeremy from the office. I wanted to let you know that unfortunately Bella is gonna have to repass her temperament test. I had a coworker tell me about some aggressive behavior Bella displayed last time she was in. Now, you know we love Bella, but we do have to obey protocol. Let me know how you'd like to proceed. Thank you. 2 minutes later.
Okay.
Hi, Jeremy. I'm sorry and shocked to hear that. I feel like I have asked before and I've never heard any feedback about her being aggressive. May I ask what she did? Does this mean she's getting kicked out? I guess you let me know how you think we should proceed. To my knowledge, everything was going okay, but thank you for letting me know. It's Ben. I'm sorry. I did not think you would fall for this.
Oh my God. Okay, let me just say first of all,
I immediately told her it was me because this girl, one, has got a huge temper, and I confirmed with her. She was like, yeah, I was about to start yelling at Jeremy's little gay ass. She was about to flip out on this fake guy.
I know exactly who I realized who you were talking about towards the end, and I was like, oh my God, she would flip.
She was about to kill Jeremy.
She would have killed you. So again, and I don't understand why you want to dance around in the danger zone with your without a bulletproof vest on.
It's the thrill. Ben loves the thrill.
It's the thrill.
Prank.
She's not going to kill me. She's mad at Jeremy. I told her it was me, and she immediately started laughing and called me. But she did say in the interim that she yelled at her boyfriend. She's like, we were out walking, and I got into a fight with my boyfriend. And we broke up. Yeah. And I was like, oh, tell them I'm sorry. I know both of them.
These pranks are so mean.
It's fine.
100%.
They're not mean.
No. They
They're
are
not
all
mean.
mean at varying degrees, including mine. And if you
They're
had
not
done,
mean. Both
if you
these
had
people
done what you
loved
had done to
them, and they
Bella's
got
owner-
an amazing. They got an amazing joke. They got an amazing laugh out of both of these pranks. It's a beautiful part of friendship. They're not mean. For the record.
prank you did to Jacques was something we've talked about on the podcast before because we did a whole episode dedicated to it. I think
we did
which
not.
Is,
that's a lie.
Yeah,
we literally did.
Search our episode archive for an episode called "Make Sure I Don't See You Around." Because
it was an entire episode.
Tesla's gets a new haircut and is literally making up shit all day now.
It's not true.
Yep, and then Ben barely shaved his face, so he also is just lying to cover it. So,
oh my God.
But I digress.
It's okay. So what I did to Jock is I texted Jock off my Google number. The text it's this. It's this
I would like to read it out.
Which is now copy pasta because I've sent it to about. I sent it to about 70 people last year, and the nice thing about it, actually, the very beautiful thing about it, is this. It brings people together. Is what this does. They've now all sent it to other friends of theirs this year, so it's spreading.
Please
Christmas
read it.
cheer, the April Fool's cheer. Yeah, Jock, go ahead.
I have it in front of me, and it really scared me. And I was at work, and when I saw it, I chose to ignore it because I was like, God, what drama is starting at 12:09 p.m. my time when I'm at work? Okay. It's weird for me to even have to say this, but it's weirder that you would do it. I know what you said about me, and I'm angry, but more so I'm hurt. I thought we were close. Guess not. Make sure I won't see you around. Then, to confuse me more,
It wasn't to confuse you more. It was to backtrack because I realized I was like, "Oh God, I shouldn't start something with Jock because he's not going to. He's not going to be normal about this."
The second you sent that text message, something was started. So let me begin to say
I tried to backtrack.
At 1:27, Ben text message. Sorry, wrong number. Clearly, when you receive a message like that,
funny.
it is on purpose. So now,
So funny to.
so now I'm like, okay, you want to confront me while I'm at work about something I
hours
don't even
later.
know what you're talking about? Fine, let's go. Let's do this. I start calling back, and I'm like, I know it's not the right. No, I did not cry. Did I? You didn't even. You can't. I never say I cried. Okay. Sorry. So then I began the call.
Jock texted me back and said, "Who is this?" And I said, "Is this Jock?" And then Jock called the Google Voice number, but when I get a call from Google Voice, it just shows up as Jock on my phone because it's just it reroutes to my number. So I answered it, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And Jock's like, "Who is this?" And I'm like, "Why the fuck is Jock calling me, asking me who this is?" And I didn't say anything because I was waiting for him to say something. And he's like, "Why'd you send me that text?"
30 people that day? You forgot.
I pranked myself because Jock called me and I forgot that I had done this on him.
I was
And I was like-
devastated. I'm in my friend's car screaming.
And he was like, "Who is this?" And so I was like, "What?" And then I realized it, and I was like, "You know who it is." Just like pretended to be an even gayer guy. And Doug's like, "I don't know who this is. I'll apologize for what I said if you just tell me who it is." And I was like, "Oh, you know who it is."
No, and then I'm more confused because I'm worried because I'm like, oh God, what drama have I started that I can't back it up?
I love that you immediately owned up to saying something terrible about someone, but you just needed to know who it was.
Well, I mean, like, I could say a lot of bad things.
All right, which one of you is it?
Wait, just tell me who you
No,
are,
I'm just
please.
like, come forward if you're gonna come try to
But
malicious.
Jock, you knew about that prank.
Maybe
let's-
Jock wasn't
let me-
on that episode. I think
Ben,
that was a solo episode. Me and you.
I did it to Jock last
My
year.
head has a collection of traumatic brain injuries, strokes,
I'm aware.
and head trauma. Do you think that is a soup that adds up to me remembering one tiny little prank that your insignificant
Well, if it's
prankosphere
this serious,
pulled?
you took it this seriously.
Yeah, I took it
thought
very
maybe-
seriously. I'm still serious about it right now.
But you would think you'd remember. Anyways, I'm sorry. Officially, I'm sorry.
Well, thank you
But
for
It's
apologizing.
weird for me to even have to say this, but it's even weirder that you would do it. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to start it again.
You can't see me right now, but the vast sheer disappointment on my face would say it all.
It is one of the scariest texts to get. It's really, really scary.
I want to
If
break
someone
your
sent
windows.
me that text, I'd kill myself.
You're
Or I'd
lucky I
probably just
wasn't
like
in New
block
York.
their number. It did get me into a lot of trouble last year. If that is any console to you, it got me in a lot of trouble. Some people were just like, "Yeah, I said it, and I don't care." And I was like, "Whoa."
The second I blocked you and I realized who had sent it to me, I was
But
looking
people were
up,
like, "Yeah, and."
I was looking up flights to New York to come and prank revenge you.
Well, that's the thing. No one ever gets me back. I love being pranked.
I would have arranged with Hessa, and the prank I would have pulled. Well, I'll just keep it a secret. It would have scared the shit out of you.
Don't tell me. Don't even tell me. I want to be
do it
pranked
with me.
really good one of
We'll
these
prank.
days. One of these
We'll
days,
Ocean's
someone's gotta
11
get
him.
me. You know, I've really never been pranked like that bad.
We're gonna
we
Harold
need to
and
prank
Maud
you.
him.
We're gonna do this thing. We're gonna set up like a fake restaurant. pay
It'd be pretty
pay
cool.
actors to be the waiters and stuff.
I would love that. Well, the dog owner said that she's going to get me back in a way that I'd never expect. She did threaten me.
I'm gonna be honest. Ben made me so mad from that prank that my nose bled, and I wish this was a lie. But I have a picture of it too, to prove it.
Are you compiling evidence for a lawsuit against me or something? Or are you taking a picture of that?
Wink, wink. I don't know.
Y'all, he's mean to me.
He's so mean to me.
Your nose bled because you were so mad?
I swear to God, and my nose has not stopped.
I guess I
bleeding
believe
since.
it. I'm sure there's also like
is straight, and it is a
surveillance on your more dog of a man.
Most surveillance is straight. Wait, can I actually bring up something?
Please.
One of my neighbors has a Ring camera, which I do think should be illegal. Ring should be banned.
1,000%.
Yeah.
But it is. She has it in the hallway of the apartment
hell?
building. That to me should not be
Yeah.
legal.
That is insane.
So
Because
like
you're filming not
it is,
your
It is not a public like that is a not sorry the hallway's not public. That's not like out in the world.
No.
So she is now clocking my comings and goings.
And you can move the
every
Ring camera around
day.
too, I believe.
And you could like see like what? Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow, that's freaky.
Yeah.
But I'm like, so she has literal recordings of me entering and exiting my building every day.
It is so
Doing
fucked
all
up.
your nasty things.
And it's obviously the girl.
She has like a whiteboard, it's like 7th guy today.
Yeah. And she's obviously the girl who gets like 1,000 things Amazoned every day and is Amazoning toothpaste because she's so
like,
fucking
I know
lazy
someone
and
is
disgusting.
stealing my like 13th Amazon package
If you're
of the
someone
day.
who's getting an Amazon package that you could just as easily buy,
She's
at the
getting,
corner.
like,
You
toilet
live in New York
paper,
City.
like,
Yeah,
I'm
if
like-
you're getting a 12 pack of like brawny, like paper towels of it, you should be shot in the head.
Yes.
The amount
publicly
the
executed
amount
if you're ordering
of
paper towel.
energy, and I'm not even being like green about this. I am more just like it is a signifier of personal moral rot for you to think that your matcha spills are worthy of the mass amount of energy that has to be produced
How many people need to bring this to your doorstep?
Yes.
Because
I
you're
don't
so
think
ADHD that you can't
delivery-
leave your house.
Or that you're like so anxious that you're like you don't want to be perceived
And then
like holding the giant toilet
And
toilet
then you
paper
also
roll down
need
the
and
sidewalk.
then you need
People
the
like,
ring
oh, I
to
can't see. I go to the bathroom. Like,
I
though
know.
Janine Garofalo, take it back 27 years, does have this funny bit about walking through Times Square Park with a bunch of toilet paper and all these skaters laughing at her.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's funny.
They're afraid that that's going
Hilarious.
to,
Send me that clip if you can track that
Yeah,
down,
no,
please.
go
That
through
sounds
my
really
archives,
hysterical.
yeah.
but
It's
these
hysterical.
people who are afraid that that's going to be happening, that they're going to be perceived and judged because they're walking with these totally average.
But
like,
they're
daily
also
products.
completely infantilized, and they like can't even
Yeah.
consider that like where they might go to buy toilet paper. Or she's
Yes.
like, I don't know, it's heavy. I'm a girl. I've never picked up anything in my life.
Yes.
I'm completely retarded.
And they're also totally afraid that all of these items will be stolen, and so they
Right, and that's
have
like
to
the ring.
Question.
they have to fucking put cameras everywhere, and it's just like you people are so. You also hate the idea of living in a city.
Right.
You
Well,
don't,
it's like
you don't
you're
belong in a
contributing
city.
to
You
a low
belong in
trust
McMansion.
society.
You
Yeah.
belong in a McMansion
Yes.
in Dallas. You do not belong in New York City or in Ridgewood or
Yes.
anywhere where it's like, yeah,
it's like this is
part-
actually a high trust community, okay, where we care for our neighbors.
also to be afraid that like some
package will be
Polish
stolen,
woman is gonna
yeah.
if she's doing it, let her have it, bitch.
Yeah,
like,
if she needs it, like, let her have it.
I hate the Appianas of Brooklyn are
Go Puff. Go kill yourself.
no, go puff is horrifying.
no, it's
I also
so-
even hate even suburban the curbless grocery store pickup
It's-
if you're not 97 years old.
It is the most antisocial behavior that
You can't
is
walk
being
through a grocery
encouraged
store?
by these massive tech platforms, and it is insane that everyone just accepts it as like amazing developments in society. It's so convenient that some Haitian man has to crawl on his hands and knees here to give me my fucking like dongle for my MacBook. It's horrible.
Also, when people, and we'll get back, but when people order from delivery from delis, that's sick.
Well, and
You live
that's
in
what
New York City. You pay the rent to live in New York City.
Yeah.
You could go to a Total bodega with cats.
But I do think that like
Yeah.
what's insane though is when I think about some of these girlies and their finance hubbies and who are paying $6,000 a month for a rental or whatever, and they're both making six figures, like they're making plenty of money, but all their money is going to their fucking condo and then go puffing like cookie dough
to sit in the condo.
And they're like spending like $170 to get like cookie dough and a 12-pack of seltzer.
No, I know it's heinous, and it is a huge sign of the moral rot of this country. It's disturbing to me. It's really disturbing, and even like just getting food delivered, like from Uber Eats or whatever, I'm just like, why? Again, why do you live in New York City? Like,
you are, to me, pizza delivery, fine. That's iconic.
Pizza, Chinese, Mexican.
Takeout delivery from the establishment, and then maybe an Uber Eats. But if you're getting like,
I never do Uber Eats or DoorDash.
You're not getting DoorDash from like whatever, like Bar Pity.
Yeah,
people
who are doing like
cacio e pepe delivery.
And so indulgent. And so antisocial.
But it's also so uncreative where it's like they can't imagine they're like, well, if it's dinner, I need to have cacio e pepe. I don't know how that would ever happen. I can't make it.
But I just want to have a cozy night in my condo.
And I can't go out.
We fucking hate
while
rich
the Allison Roman cookbook is on the table as well.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so just miserable to me. And they hate the city. They hate the idea of living.
I think my biggest thing is there's so many people that should not live here.
Yeah. So many people.
And it's like, why? Like, there's so, like,
if you are not going to a Broadway show once a week,
I think
you should not live in fucking
If you're not going to a Broadway show, a random store opening, a fashion show, an activation, a Japanese pop-up, get out. It's like, because it's like, your life will be so much better. This is just for us that crave going to a meaningless opening.
No, like gay guys who need a seventh location.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why this city exists.
Yes.
Anyways. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
It aggravates me so much, and we've never really discussed that on the podcast before. But
I'm happy to launch a totally separate podcast.
1,000%. And then those people, when they go on vacation, they're like, how fun it is to like roll up to a huge parking lot, and it's like, yeah, that's what you're meant for.
Yeah. Yes. No, the drive-in, the parking lot of it all is what these people really want.
That's what they want. They want to drive into the parking lot.
Yeah. You gotta
run
it in the sink or something. Yeah.
Come to think of it, I've had a weird cough since I got the Aztec death whistle. I'm not even doing a joke here.
Do you think you're cursed?
It's all. I don't feel cursed. Well, I mean, I always kind of feel cursed. I don't feel more cursed than regularly, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's a piece of plastic from Amazon. So how cursed could it really
plastic. Be? It's real. I sprung for the one that's actually made out of clay.
Okay.
It's top of the line.
Period.
I kind of felt bad buying it from Amazon, but I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of adds.
Instead of buying it from a real Aztec.
Exactly. A real Aztec-owned business.
Yeah.
It kind of adds another layer to the conceptual work I'm constructing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So my other prank. It's funnier, but it has, because like most things, there's a trade-off in life. The funnier a prank is, the more mad your friends get at you for doing it to them.
Yes.
One of the classic bargains of life. And I was gonna do it to you while we were recording, but I unfortunately sent out so many of these texts through the Google Voice number that Google Voice told me that I was either a AI bot trying to scam people or a telemarketer, which I am not. I'm merely pranking. But I sent this text to maybe 40 people.
Okay. Is our Google Voice suspended now, or is it?
No, I just can't send this exact message anymore, unfortunately.
Okay, I see.
And even if it was, I know I've created so many Google Voice numbers. So I was going to send this to you, but I can't. So let's imagine you get this text from a number you don't have saved in your phone.
Okay.
This is a message
Send it to me from your number, and I can read it.
Yeah, you want to read it? Okay, 1 second. Let me get it copied and pasted here. I was howling with laughter.
Oh my god!
When I was sending this to people, you have no idea. I was literally like on the floor, like crying, sending this to people because it is so fucking funny.
This is a message from tellyourpartner.org. Through an anonymous notification service, one of your sexual partners wants to let you know you may have been exposed to chlamydia and herpes. Since you may not have any symptoms, we recommend getting tested. For more information, including how to find a free clinic, please visit https://tellyourpartner.org/info. If you feel you are getting this text as a form of harassment, please text back report. Reply stop to head out. And let me guess, you got hundreds of replies saying report in all caps.
No. One of my friends actually got tested.
Really? Oh my god,
yes.
That's so funny.
Well, then he was really mad at me. And I was like, well, it seems like you need to be tested anyways.
Yeah,
but
period.
I did send this to 3 of my girlfriends in Iowa who are all in a group chat. And one of them was like, what the fuck? One of them has a child. She's like, I'm not having sex. And then another one was like, I just got, like, I'm not like fucking around. And another one got, imagine you get that text from like, imagine you have like a husband and you get that text and you're just fucking him. And like the guy's trying to be anonymous about it, banking on the fact that you're being a whore and this like fucking a bunch of guys.
Weird. You should probably get tested. Telling your husband, he's like, whoa, that's so crazy. But you should probably get tested though.
It's like we're monogamous. We have a close relationship. Like one of your partners wants to anonymously wants to let you know that you have herpes and chlamydia.
Sending it to one person in a polycule and it just collapses.
Oh my god! I wish I knew people in a polycule so I could destroy their house of cards with this text message. Oh, let's do it. Nuclear option.
Yeah.
One of my friends got very mad at me because she was like, "That's not funny." And I was like, yes, it is.
It's pretty funny.
Might be mean, but it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And tellyourpartner.org is a real website, by the way. So
that's crazy.
It's in some way.
Does it cost
feel like
money?
No. Guess what? I've used it before. Why do you think I know about this website?
Why don't you just use the real website for people?
What do you mean?
Like go on tellyourpartner.org and type in, I need to tell my partner. And then send it that way.
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah, that's true. I guess I wanted to see if they'd respond
If
back.
they'd respond.
And,
Yeah.
And on tellyourpartner.org, you can't. Fortunately, they don't let you have a conversation through it, if I remember correctly. But
that would be funny if
I got
hooking up through tellyourpartner.org, you meeting guys on.
Yeah, you get that message. You're like, I don't care. I love you. I miss you so much. Start sending news. Start sending news to tellyourpartner.org. Where are you?
Yeah.
The 2 a.m. you up text from tellyourpartner.org.
Yeah. Your partner is up. If this is harassment, reply report.
Your anonymous herpes chlamydia ridden partner wants to know WYD at 3 a.m. Where you at? But I kind of feel like forever, however much people may have been mad at me for this one, I kind of feel like I really invented a new, very effective way to combat sexually transmitted diseases and encourage testing. Because,
absolutely.
I mean, fear works. Fear is a very strong motivator. And
it's the mind killer.
Exactly. But I think, at least you now know you don't have herpes or chlamydia, or you do. And I wasn't thinking about the actual end. I didn't think about where this prank could go. One of my friends almost called a girl he had sex with the night before. And
oh my God.
I know.
That would have been bad.
And then so bad. So bad. And then another one of my friends who I just pranked told him that it was a prank and stopped him from calling the girl. Yeah. But there was a moment I was like, okay, I went too far.
You didn't even tell that's so evil to do that and then not even tell people that you were joking. They have to hear it secondhand. Oh, that was bad.
Well, it's very difficult. It's really difficult when you text 60 people and then you have to follow up with all of them.
I would immediately, if I got that text, I would immediately reply, "Hi, Ben."
Yeah, one of my girlfriends here was like, "It's probably fucking Ben." It's so funny, and it's actually really evil because it's kind of like the opposite of The Boy Who Cried Wolf, because they will get a text like this one day, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's probably Ben," when it's probably real. It's pretty bad. I should stop.
Yeah,
but yeah, I wanted to send it to Jock, but then I realized I should definitely not send it to Jock.
Yeah, that would be bad.
It would have been bad. So I didn't. I
put my teeth back in. I thought that might cure it because we took them out and I got it. So
yeah, we should do a bit where we talk about how Jock actually had to get all of his teeth removed and now has giant dentures
in his life. So
no, you two have no idea. Ben is the most evil prankster in the world.
No,
Wait,
I'm actually
really?
not
What pranks have you done? Ben, what pranks have you done?
I can't say them on air.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't. Then everyone will know what my pranks are.
There's the blood pills thing.
If you tell someone your prank, it won't come true.
Exactly. It's like a wish.
Wow.
Let me tell y'all a prank Ben once pulled on me.
Okay.
I woke up to being swatted.
It's not true. It's not true. I did not swat you.
Being broken. my tiramisu cake that was there for
just
my
happens
birthday,
every time you wake
all
up.
All over the floor. They're looking.
Jock live on the floor.
We should do that. We should swat Jock.
We should not. We should not. It's not funny. It was not funny the first time.
I will say one of Ben's pranks, taking pictures of one of his friends who's a girl and sending them to her through a Google Voice number that she didn't know. Like sending her pictures of herself walking on the street.
It was a really good prank. And she was walking past a fast food restaurant called Chicken Texas Burger, and it's like, you want everyone to know you eat a chicken Texas burger, you bitch. I got her.
That's
and
so funny.
I sent her the pictures, and we were in a separate group chat, and she was like, "Guys, I just got some really insane text messages," and I was like, "Oh my god, what happened?" I was like playing both sides, and I was like, "What did you get?" And she's like, "This random phone number just texted me pictures of myself walking under the BQE."
That's so funny.
And like the pictures I sent, it's so clear that I'm like in a van under a bridge. I was in a U-Haul truck. I was moving. I was in a U-Haul truck. And I saw her for like 20 seconds. I just like picture, and sent them to her. It's amazing. It's amazing. That's one of the best pranks
That is
I've
a
done.
really good prank.
If you
That's
ever
really
see a
good.
friend of yours in public, take
and
a
you
bunch
pulled
of
it
pictures
off
of
while
them.
moving. That's
Yes.
a lot of coordination.
I was working so hard that day, and I eventually was.
Awesome.
She was like, "Do you think I should call the cops?" And I was like, "Maybe." And then I was like, "No, gotcha! Don't call the cops. don't press charges against me."
Her reaction, like, what the fuck?
I know.
You let it keep going all the way. She does call the cops. They find out it was you.
I'm in court, and I'm like, "Gotcha, bitch! Pranked."
And pranked. The cameras come out.
Literally, and then I'm whisked away to jail.
You just got bent over. That's your show. That's what your show's called.
Bent over.
It's called Bend Over.
Ben, but with an apostrophe after Ben. So
Yeah.
Bent over.
I would love to
Tonight
do
on
a
MTV.
pranked style show or punked.
You should do a prank show.
It'd be so good.
That'd be fun.
I think punked came back, didn't it?
No.
I think it's came back like 5 times for like a
Yeah.
minute. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Wasn't
show
it
was. But speaking of other diseased little mongrels, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I did go to a microbully event this past weekend that I'm not even
freaky dogs.
Yeah, so for anyone out there who doesn't know what a microbully is, I have been posting. I've been really kind of obsessed with them for the past 6 months or so. Microbullies are a breed of dog. They are extra small pit bulls, essentially, and the reason why I'm so obsessed with them, it's very hard to describe because it is like just a totally overwhelming feeling. It makes me stim out. I'm not even trying to be facetious or like precious.
When you see the little dogs, dogs.
It makes
they remind you of Spanish men.
Yeah, literally, it's like a 4'2" Puerto Rican boy. I'm kidding. They are short and muscular. It's kind of what I want to look like. I think there's that element that I think I
fucked up giant head.
I want to have a huge basketball head, huge dome with a massive wingspan.
Hard to breathe.
Hard to breathe, dude. You have no idea how overwhelmed I was, how overstimulated I was at the Amityville Microbully Pop-Up 2.0 at Mac Bolden Park.
Some of the ones you were videoing, they just looked like French bulldogs.
They were, so it was a micro Frenchie / microbully pop-up. But there were, I was there for the microbullies. I mean, I also like Frenchies, but I don't really.
My mom has 2 French bulldogs.
Do you like Frenchies? They're the most popular dog in America. The most popular dog in America.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Recently, they surpassed I think it's like Golden Doodle or something.
You should see our dog Larry has looks like a medieval drawing of a lion.
Yeah.
Made by a monk that doesn't know what a lion looks like.
I think they're so cute, and I think they're so indulgent because these are dogs with functionally no purpose. Frenchies, kind of. It's
most dogs though.
Yeah, I mean a lot of dogs they can protect you.
Like a beagle,
hunt.
A chihuahua.
They hunt. Chihuahuas are incredibly powerful, magisterial beings.
So insane. Such a crazy thing to say.
They are, dude. You don't think they're incredibly powerful dogs? I think they're very scary. They're loud. They're alert dogs. They were bred to keep wandering hands out of princesses' laps.
Oh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, they can do that, but a French bulldog can't do that, you don't think?
You're telling me a Chihuahua isn't uniquely built to bite wandering hands?
I think it is, but I think that's something that a French bulldog could also do. Unless it's one of the crazy micro-bully bred ones. It's too busy fighting for its life.
Well, see, okay, all right. I'm sick of the slander. I'm so sick of the micro-bully slander. You have no idea how I got some responses that were insane. People were like, how dare you support this heinous inbreeding of dogs? These dogs shouldn't be alive. You put these dogs down. I'm like, okay.
These dogs shouldn't be alive seems like
Hitler,
a lot.
Well, they are alive, so what you want to exterminate every microbully because you think they look like it's hard for them to live? They haven't expressed that it's hard for them to live.
Maybe they're having fun.
They are. So microbullies, before I get to my review of the event, sorry everyone's going to have to put up with my special interest here, but I'm fascinated with them. I think the reason why I'm so fascinated with them, one of the main reasons, is that it feels like I'm seeing something that is just truly, principally new. Fresh. I've never seen anything like it before. The microbully culture, the people, the dogs themselves. I'm like, wow, this feels like an entirely new development in culture. That
it's like the Latino version of Hummel dolls or something.
Yeah, but no, there's girl. They like microbullies in China. There's a microbully in China who I follow, who lives in Qingdao, and his name is Tri-State. And, and they love him. They love microbullies in China too.
Are they going to harvest him at some point, or are they going to?
So this is the thing. I mean, hopefully I really want to interview Danny Rich Grande, who is the owner of the microbully China Mac, who is my favorite microbully. He has a huge dome, huge basketball head. He's very short. The thing is, I'll make one of these dogs I'll probably make China Mac the cover art.
China Mac is an American rapper.
No, well, there's also a rapper named China Mac, but you need to type in China Mac microbully. You haven't seen China. I've sent you pictures of China Mac before.
I'm a little interested in this rapper.
Okay. I knew that there was a rapper, but there's only one China Mac that I recognize, and that's the microbully.
Yeah,
it's not the dog. So just type in China Mac Danny Rich Grande.
Oh my god.
Isn't he so cute?
Wait. Okay,
he's so cute.
This is crazy.
Come on. Okay, well that's how I felt. That's how I felt, which is like, oh my god, I've never seen anything like this before. It's really invigorating. His dick is out all the time. Yeah, absolutely. He's a horny guy.
He's a horny guy.
He's horny.
I can't believe it.
So, unfortunately, China Mac was not there, and I wasn't able to meet China Mac, nor his owner, his inventor, Danny Rich Grande, who I'm equally obsessed with.
Mm-hmm. How old is China Mac?
Why? You trying to talk some shit on him? You're just like, he's 4. It looks like he only has a year left to live.
Well, he does look like he doesn't really have a lot of time left, if we're gonna be honest.
You know what? Great Danes die at like 7 too. And you want to exterminate all of them, Hessa? Is that what you're saying?
I want to exterminate it. Look his head. It can't be comfortable to have a head.
No, a lot of them can't really hold up their heads.
It can't feel good.
Look, there's an ethical component to breeding these dogs. I'll stop being facetious. That is, of course, very murky. Okay, but I'm not Joe Biden. Okay, I can't tell them to stop breeding these dogs. And while these dogs are brought into this world, they deserve to be loved and cared for, and shown off at dog shows and given little trophies and whatever else. But when I was there, I was so overwhelmed and overstimulated because I have never seen any of these dogs in person before, the microbullies.
Mm-hmm. Were there any that looked like China Mac with the big heads?
Oh, yeah. There were some huge domes. Huge domes at Bolden Mac Park in Amityville, Long Island. It was such a crazy vibe. But if you want to see them, go to my Instagram. It's Ben Mora with 2 A's. It's a bunch of them up there. But I had never seen a microbully in real life before, right? I had only seen them online. And just the sheer force of their image online was enough to make me totally obsessed with these dogs as a kind of representation of the future in some way. Yeah. And seeing them in real life,
it's like hearing Sophie's music for the first time.
I'm not even kidding. I felt like the first time I heard Vroom Vroom, that was ripped from like a live concert. And I was like, what is this music? Or like when I heard Death Grips, when I was like, after I smoked weed out of a Sprite can in high school. I was like, whoa.
That's how you feel when you see these dogs.
Yes.
The dicks are always hard.
The dicks are not always hard. I did see a lot of dicks. So I pull up and there's a microbully named Achilles on a picnic table with and yes, I was one of the only white people there. It's mostly Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and like Black Americans who are doing this. I think that's another very interesting component of it, is that like dog breeding and show dogs, that culture has been so like kind of upper crust, like Westminster, stuffy, white, and like just it feels like very like colonial in some way to me.
Yeah.
The dog shows.
No, yeah. The very like literally, it's like who has the most like eugenics perfect dog.
Yeah, and this is kind of who's making the most fucked up dog.
All these pictures, these just look like regular bulldogs to me.
Oh, you don't? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh. No,
Like, that's just a bulldog.
No, that is the thing you can't really get from this image here is that dog is like a foot tall.
Okay.
It's like a foot tall and like 4 feet wide. The proportions in real life are insane. So
love this community.
I do love the community.
The world's
obsessed.
yours.
Yeah, there was a guy there. So there was one micro bully team that was called The World's Yours.
Mm-hmm.
And they DA Worlds URS, and they have 2 dogs, 2 micro bullies that
called
they show.
the Coronavirus Brothers.
No, it's one of them is called Corona and the other one is called Virus, and they're brothers.
Okay, so, yes.
Yeah. or known as the Coronavirus Brothers.
Twitter community note. Actually, one dog is named Corona and the other dog is named Virus.
Literally.
But they are brothers.
Do not besmirch them. It's true, and they have their own names. They're their own people.
Coronavirus.
Corona and Virus, shut up! Stop barking, Corona.
Literally, like a henchman. Like
No, literally.
The Coronavirus Brothers. So
And
good.
they were there. We got the Coronavirus Brothers there. I wanted one of those shirts so bad. I'll make this shirt the episode art. It's so amazing.
You should
love
make the picture of him holding up China Mac.
I love the community. I love this community. Well, yeah, Danny Rich Grande sells China Mac's cum, just to be totally honest. And he calls it Mac sauce. And
how much is it?
I don't know. This is why I've been trying to interview him. I'll message Danny. I'll be like, hey, Danny, big fan. Love China. Love you. Love what you're doing.
Do a mukbang with it.
For the community. With the dog cum?
Yeah.
No.
What?
No. Maybe if Jock was here.
I thought you said you loved them.
I do love them. Not sexually. Maybe psychosexually, but not, in my body.
You don't want to eat their cum.
I don't want to eat their cum. But Danny jacks off the dog himself. He posts videos of himself jacking off the dog.
I mean, you gotta.
He sells. There's one post he made where he was like, shout out to, this guy. Just met him at the Atlanta airport so he could get some Mac sauce. We did it right there in the bathroom.
Just jacking off a dog.
They jacked
in the
off.
Bathroom
They
of an
harvested
airport?
China Mac in the Atlanta airport. It's
Jacking
like,
off a dog in the airport is crazy.
Think about
how much
all-
does it go for?
I don't know. I need to ask him. That's why I need to get him on. I've been trying to do a one-on-one interview with Danny for maybe a month, and he's so down because he loves to promote China. But then I'll be like, okay,
You'll
come
say
up.
something about Taiwan and that.
Yeah. I'll say,
Okay.
you need to give up TikTok. They need to sell TikTok to an American company, and he bows out. But I was like, I'll come up to the Bronx. I was even like, I'll rent a studio, dude, in the Bronx, and we can get China in there, me and you. I'll ask you about jacking off your dog. How much does it sell for? He has a like, I'm totally blanking on what it's called. It's like a magnifying glass with a scientific version. It's not a stethoscope. It's like
a jeweler's glass or something.
Kind of. You put, when like in science class, you put something on those little slides. Microscope. Whoa.
You forgot it.
Whoa.
Well, that's funny that you forgot it. You need one to use the bathroom every time you pee.
Period. But he has a giant microscope set up in his China harvesting studio, and he will take videos of the dog's cum under the microscope and be like, China Mac got mad swimmers today.
Today.
Yes.
The sailors be warned. China Mac had very bad swimmers.
Yeah. I'm so fascinated with the hustle culture of it, the the weird like post-colonial like Dominican guys doing like dog breeding is so funny to me. Like competitive dog breeding.
Mm-hmm. To see who can make the most fucked up dog.
And the thing is, those dogs were, a lot of them, the vast majority of the dogs had a very, very nice temperament. None of them were on leashes because they can't run. So they kind of just
they're hobbled.
They literally kind of just like they kind of look like big grubs, and they kind of just like they crawl like salamanders or something. But they're very sweet. They're all very, very sweet dogs. They were having an amazing time out in Bolton Mac Park in Amityville, Long Island, with each other. There were maybe 80 micro bullies there, and a family-friendly event. You know, they did it for the community. There was one white family there. There was one white family who was competing in the most exotic Frenchie, like category. And it was like the funniest, like Long Island white family, because it was like dad, like Paul Wall style dad, or like one of those old white guys who, you know, is just like really into black culture.
Paul Wall?
He's a white rapper. He's like one of those old white guys who, you know, like loves rap and black culture, but he has the face of like a coal miner, you know, just like really hollowed, kind of like.
Yeah,
kind
looks
of
like in if it was in
oil
the past.
prospector. He looks like he would have been on the westward expansion. That kind of sunken, hallowed face. He has a giant gold chain and like a G Unit shirt on with like Echo pants. Amazing vibe. And he bred a long-haired Frenchie, which I'm like, how is this not? Also, how is none of this gay to any of you guys? Sorry.
How is it what?
Not gay.
Well, the Frenchie, my mom's Frenchie that looks like a lion, like a manuscript drawing of a lion, has a mane. It has like
guess that's
hair
pretty
like
manly.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. But the white Frenchie lost. And you know, I didn't want
contest?
I didn't want to say it was just because the family was the only white ones, but
you think it was racism?
It could have been. There could have been some reverse racism happening at the microbully pop-up. Yeah.
Was it the best one, do you think?
No.
Okay.
No. They deserve to lose. I'm just kidding.
Okay, because they were also saying slurs to everyone.
Yeah.
They were also beating their dog in front of everyone.
I did not see any dog abuse insofar as that, you know, no one was hitting.
I mean,
the
that's
dogs.
a low bar to clear at a dog festival.
Dog festival.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there are some people, especially a lot of nerds my mentions, who were saying that it was abuse that these animals were even brought into this world. And I just think that is pure Hitlerian logic. And it's not nice to this beautiful community.
There's no way this China Mac dog is real.
I almost met him. China Mac is real. What are you talking about?
I'm just going to say, I don't think this is a real
Girl,
dog.
I've seen his cum. I've seen videos of the dog getting jacked off. He's real. China Mac is real.
I don't think it's possible for a dog to look like this.
It's so possible. You have no idea what I've seen.
Okay.
But I would love to meet China Mac. I'd love to meet him. Hopefully one day. Danny, if you're listening, I love you. I'm a huge fan. Fuck the haters. I love China. China is a beautiful microbully.
Mm-hmm.
Huge dome. Great swimmers.
Huge dome. He put a chain on China Mac in a lot of pictures, and I don't know if that's... It looks like China Mac's having enough trouble with this.
Well, for dogs, they have really thick necks, you know.
Yeah. I guess it balances things out. It keeps China Mac from falling forward every time it stands up.
Maybe so. Maybe so. The one kind of concerning element of this that I saw was when the dogs tried to poop, because they can't really squat. So they kind of they poop standing up. and it just shoots out really fast. And they looked a little disturbed.
Upset about it. They looked upset about that fact.
Well, I feel like their instincts are probably driving them to want to squat, but they can't because they're just a couple inches off the ground.
Yeah, if they squatted, they would.
They can't.
They would
really.
fall. They would fall through the ground like a Mario doing a ground pound.
Literally. But their temperaments overall, they're very jovial, very happy dogs. You know, and is that not the beauty of dogs that and should be the beauty of life, that despite the ailments we may have been born with, we still thrive and enjoy and love life just like these micro bullies.
Period.
Exactly. I think there's a beautiful message there, and I'm sick of the hate and just the vitriol that these dogs get. It's not okay.
You should breed one of your own. Grab Bug, grab another
Girl,
dog.
I am not buying one of those dogs. Absolute.
No, make one of your own. That he's a sweetie.
That I've been vindicated.
That Ben is a darling. A sweet darling. I saw someone who doesn't even follow me and doesn't follow no mutuals. Someone I had no mutuals with tweet. Ben Mora completely vindicated.
Totally, completely vindicated.
What does that mean?
The funny thing is, I forgot that I had this spat with JVN.
I totally forgot
No,
too.
and then I was like, I remember he tweeted about me, and then I googled my own name, which is annoying, with JVN, and I found a totally secondary article that I was not aware of, and I'm like, I am never getting a real job in my life. Ever again will I ever have a normal job.
I told him he has AIDS.
Let me read you this headline. It's so fucking funny. It's
your tweet was so good.
Jonathan Van Ness responds to Bernie Sanders staffer's joke about AIDS. The staffer was fired for that, among other crude and heinous comments. This is from pride.com, and it was written by quote unquote the Pride staff. I just want to say, fuck you guys. That's
Jonathan Van Ness.
This is ridiculous. this is bullshit journalism. But it's just
queers attacking queers.
Well, that's what I was doing. But we had a
Bernie
Sanders staffer Ben Mora, who worked as a Michigan regional field director, blah, 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 said that JVN should die of AIDS. I didn't say that, but he was talking. He was talking about how Reagan was hot. It was his thing for months, honestly, was talking about how hot Reagan was.
That was one thing about the article that I appreciated, is that they did give the context of JVN.
They did, yeah.
Repeatedly saying that Reagan was hot.
Yeah.
Your tweet was like, JVN shaking ass in front of Daddy Reagan. Watch me die of AIDS, Daddy, or something.
Yeah. He did not like that one. Should I read you guys the tweet he made about me?
Yes, please.
It's so funny.
Dear pale bigot.
I'll say it again. Articles come for us all, honey. This is the tweet. This is the tweet our former Bernie staffer tweeted from a locked account. How many senior Bernie staffers saw these tweets for months and promoted their behavior? Also, why is he they theming me? I'm he him. Obviously so, bitch.
First of all, don't try to misgender me, biatch.
It's commonplace I endure this It's commonplace I endure this by extreme Bernie supporters daily. The change has to come from inside their campaign. Just absolute bullshit.
It's so funny to not mention that you're also gay, which I feel like is important context.
Yeah, absolutely. Or what the with any of the surrounding context was. I remember I had just been fired, and I was like, what the... JVN is coming out. JVN is tweeting about this shit. I was like, what the fuck? I was in a rented car that I drove to Toronto.
What the hell?
I was
let
hiding
you in
Toronto. Yeah, I had to cross the border and tell the guys at the Canadian border guards, they're like, what are you doing? And I was like, I was just a subject of a high-profile media hit job and got fired. I got to get the fuck out of this country. And they were
that border patrol guy like rolling his eyes like, oh Jesus Christ, go.
He was like, oh well, what happened? And I was like, you can Google it. My name is Ben Mora. I worked for the Bernie Sanders campaign. I was just fired yesterday, and I gotta get the fuck out of this country because I have reporters calling me. And he was like, what? And he Googled it and was like, read the article while I had to stand there humiliated, begging to get into their shitty little country so I could just have a moment of respite.
I'm on vacation. You should have just said
I was having a literal panic attack. Like, you don't understand. I was in a fugue state. Like, it honestly got so much worse because I also, while I was driving to Toronto, didn't realize that it was 8 hours from Detroit, which is where I was living, and I was fully disassociating and was not checking the gas gauge, and then ran out of gas on the highway in rural Canada, had to walk through a muddy field to get to a gas station to fill up a canister full of gas to bring it back to my rented car, got to the gas station covered in mud, and was like, I cannot walk back through that field again with a canister of gasoline. I'm like, I cannot do that. So I waved down a semi-truck that was leaving the gas station. I was like, please, my car broke down. Do you know Jonathan Van Ness is? My car broke down.
Excuse me, I was canceled. You can look it up. Can you drive me to the car?
Google me.
Can you drive me to my car?
But I was like, please, my car broke down. I just got to put gas in it. And he was like, yeah, get in. I was like, this old Canadian guy, silent, very awkward. And he was like, you're lucky I'm not crazy. I was like, fuck me.
Oh no.
I was like, I'm going to die now. I'm going to get fired and then die in rural Canada. This is the day after. And I was like, this guy's going to rape and murder me and throw me in that muddy field I was just rolling around in. It was...
Yeah, that's going to be my grave.
It was so horrible, dude.
Boy, I would sure hate to be in this field again. Next 2 hours later, you're dead laying in it.
You're lucky I'm not crazy. And I was like, oh, yeah, I am. I'm very lucky you're not crazy, sir. Thank you. It was so